Good afternoon, everyone. The smoke from the wildfires in Australia that we've heard so much about, transiting over New Zealand and at the same time blocking the skies, they're bringing summer snow. Trajectory is for this ash to move over South America before it heads over to South Africa. Dust storms spanning the width of Australia now, and we've all seen the eruption of Taal. Now we have mid-latitude ash, southern hemisphere ash, and where do you think our Earth's temperatures are going to go from this point forward? What are the scariest things happening in the world right now that could devastate your retirement and savings? The Iran conflict or the disruption of global oil supply in such an event? Global stock market crash? Highly possible. What are you doing to protect yourself from the potential of major economic turmoil? Many are turning to gold and silver, and Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold IRA dealer. Call today or request a free investment kit. The link's in the description box below. PatriotGoldGroup.com. And now, on to the video. Now, you couldn't have picked up a newspaper or watched a newscast in the last 3 weeks without coming across the wildfires in Australia. Devastating, and over 200 of those fires were set by arsonists, not global warming, lightning strikes, a small percentage, arsonists, a huge percentage. Nonetheless, nearly 250,000 Australians urged to flee these wildfires. And here we have wildfires creating a smoke cloud larger than the continental United States. And over to the right, you'll see that striation there. That's covering New Zealand. And as we move forward with satellite imagery here, you can really see where the smoke is tapering off and where it passed over New Zealand. You can see the density, and you saw those same images from the satellites as well as penetrating cloud layers. GOES 5. The result was summer snow, New Zealand. That's how much the temperatures dropped. Now, the forecasters can talk to their blue in the face about a southerly cold intrusion. And I love how the Met Service says snow at this time of the year in the middle of the summer is not unusual. And more snow could fall down to 900 meters. Now, wait a second. Snow was supposed to be a thing of the past here, according to Al Gore and his IPCC crew. But snow down to 900 meters in the middle of summer in New Zealand? And you're telling me that's supposed to be not unusual? See, they got to blame the cold southerly intrusion because the amount of smoke dropping these kind of temperatures to cause summer snow might make you scratch your head and say, gee, I wonder what kind of other ash emissions might drop global temperatures. It's not CO2. Then you might start to ask a lot more questions. But here off of Null School, you can definitely see the ash trajectory there, moving from Australia over to South America, easily visible. And back to the GOES 5, the WISP is just barely now through Patagonia, but as you can see, that larger cloud of smoke, central southern Atlantic, and then it starts to move over South America. Now, it's just anticipated to get there a couple of days ago, so we'll tell whether the temperatures will drop or not, and we'll see in these crop-growing regions if this smoke indeed drops the temperature. So keep your eyes out for that. Record cold, unusual snows, hail, this kind of strange weather anomalies associated with incredible particle density in our atmosphere. Southern South America is where you're going to be looking for that. And also at the same time, through the last couple of days, a massive dust storm sweeping across Australia, almost the entire width of the continent. So we have the double whammy here of the dust and the smoke in regional areas in Australia, but that smoke is going to actually make it all the way back to Australia once it passes southern Africa. And on the whiteout satellite image here, you can for sure see that dust through the air. And the reason I would even talk about particles in the air is because now this massive eruption down Taal in the Philippines is going to add an enormous amount of ash to mid-latitudes. Now, over the last couple of years, and specifically this last year, we've seen a lot of eruptions around Shiveluche, northern areas of our northern hemisphere. 55 degrees north latitude, 50 degrees north latitude, that has circled the planet multiple times. Now we're seeing something in the mid-latitude range, probably around 20 degrees north latitude. Now this is going to have a whole different belt of ash in an entirely different zone where there was no ash. Huge stratospheric eruption, conservatively 16 kilometers, 55 to 60,000 feet. And this is a prelude to what is supposed to be coming with even a larger eruption. The monitoring going on in the Philippines is saying that the magma build and the pressure release on this is just the first of a series of expected eruptions. So when you're looking at something like this off the social media feeds, and it sure looks like the Manami eruption that was in Papua New Guinea in 2019, definitely the same type of footprint that we would see here, where that thing pancakes out when it hits the higher reaches of the atmosphere. And again, this is an extremely dense cloud heading up there. Flights grounded all across Manila, ash fall. I even have a couple of people down there that I've been communicating with, and they were saying the ash where they are at, west of this, is about an inch to inch and a half deep, but they're west about 40 miles of the eruption. So it's going against the wind flow, and this is really going to be a spread out event across the Philippines. Now, for those of you who are fans of history, 1911. And this is real interesting because the low solar activity has brought us back to 1913 with the amount of lack of sunspots at 281 days through 2019. You have to go all the way back to 1913 to find the exact amount of days with no sunspots, just like we encountered 2019. So what are the statistical possibilities of that same type of eruption and the same low solar activity on that same century mark? Coincidental? Or driven by the sun, or driven by cosmic rays because our magnetic fields weaken enough where there's more cosmic rays, exciting magma chambers, increased cosmic ray density. And how prepared are you for emergencies? Because the drinking water across Greater Manila is going to be affected during this time. How many people had masks? How many people have extra water filters at this time? How about long-term food storage? 2-week grab-and-go food crate or the 4-week food supply? Adapt 2030 and My Patriot Supply. Keep yourself prepared for emergencies. The link's in the description box below, and I will see you next video. Thanks for watching.